Welcome to Azerbaijan, a country that refuses to fit into any single category, where contradictions don't clash. They dance together under the glow of the flame towers. Nestled between the Caucasus Mountains and the Caspian coastline, Azerbaijan occupies one of the world's most fascinating crossroads. This is the point where Asia shakes hands with Eastern Europe, where Persian influence meets Russian legacy, where oil derricks stand alongside ancient caravanserais. Few countries can pack this much contrast into one passport, and even fewer manage to make it feel this effortless. The Caspian Sea laps against its eastern shores, not quite an ocean, not quite a lake, but the world's largest inland body of water. To the west, mountains rise like ancient guardians, their peaks still holding snow when Baku's streets are bathed in spring sunshine. This geographic tension creates microclimates, cultural pockets, and a national identity that's perpetually negotiating between preservation and progress. Azerbaijan carries its Soviet legacy like a tailored suit, visible but modernized. The language absorbed Russian words. The architecture borrowed brutalist confidence. The metro system runs with Moscow-learned precision. But beneath this veneer of organized efficiency beats a heart that's distinctly Turkic, deeply hospitable, and surprisingly entrepreneurial. The rapid modernization era began with oil revenue in the early 2000s, transforming Baku from a weathered post-Soviet capital into something that could rival Gulf cities. Yet this oil wealth exists alongside cultural conservatism. Women wear both headscarves and haute couture. Mosques sit beside wine bars, and families balance modern ambition with traditional values. This contrast isn't tension, it's the national identity itself. Baku doesn't apologize for its contradictions. Futuristic skyscrapers designed by internationally renowned architects tower over the UNESCO-protected Old Town, where stone walls remember the Silk Road. The flame towers illuminate the night sky with LED shows, while carpet weavers below still use techniques passed down through 12 generations. Then there's the wind. Locals call it the Baku fan, and it's no joke. The Caspian gusts sweep through the boulevards with such consistency that outdoor restaurants install weighted tablecloths, and women have learned to dress strategically. Your hair won't survive a walk on the seaside boulevard, but the locals will smile knowingly. They've made peace with the wind long ago. Nighttime transforms the city. Neon architecture illuminates the waterfront. The Haydar Aliyev Center curves like frozen music under spotlights. Young couples stroll the boulevard, while older men play backgammon in tea houses tucked into ancient alleyways. Baku after dark feels like a city comfortable in its own skin, neither trying too hard nor hiding its ambitions. Stepping off the plane at Haydar Aliyev International Airport, you're immediately met with efficiency. Passport controls move in organized lines. Digital visa kiosks guide you through the process in 6 languages. Currency exchange screens flash the minute exchange rate in real time. Nothing feels chaotic or confusing here. This is a country that wants you to feel welcome, not overwhelmed. The taxi ride into the city reveals layers. Soviet-era apartment blocks gradually give way to glass towers. Street signs appear in both Latin and Cyrillic script. The driver might speak Turkish, Russian, English, or all 3 in one sentence. He'll point out landmarks with genuine pride, not rehearsed tourism spiels. By the time you reach your hotel, you've already started to feel the city's rhythm. Walk through any Baku neighborhood, and the first thing you'll notice is the polish. Sidewalks gleam. Street gardens are trimmed like museum pieces. Public fountains run crystal clear. This isn't accidental. Azerbaijanis take genuine pride in public spaces. Drop trash on the street and locals will stare, not aggressively, but with the kind of disappointed look that makes you feel worse than any fine could. Police presence feels protective rather than aggressive. Officers walk in pairs, often chatting with shopkeepers or giving directions to tourists. There's authority without intimidation, order without oppression. Even late at night, the streets maintain this calm professionalism. Women jog alone at sunset. Street musicians perform without fear of harassment. The social contract here seems unspoken, but universally understood. If Paris took an engineering class in Moscow, you'd get Baku's architectural aesthetic. Beige stone facades dominate the older districts, their grand balconies dripping with ironwork that speaks to both Ottoman and European influence. Soviet-era metro entrances stand like concrete monuments to collective ambition, their interiors decorated with chandeliers that belong in palaces. But then you turn a corner and face the future. The flame towers dominate the skyline, three gleaming structures shaped like stylized flames, covered in LED screens that cycle through animations of fire, the Azerbaijani flag, and abstract art. The Haydar Aliyev Center defies conventional geometry entirely, its flowing curves making it look like a sculpture that grew organically from the earth. Azerbaijani men carry themselves with quiet confidence. Dark hair, strong eyebrows, business casual shirts, even on weekends. There's a formality to social interactions that Americans might find reserved, but it's simply a different rhythm of respect. Handshakes are firm. Eye contact is direct. Compliments are given sparingly but meaningfully. Women's fashion tells a more complex story. Earth-toned makeup dominates. Think bronze, terracotta, soft browns that complement naturally olive skin. Long skirts mix with denim in ways that balance modesty with modernity. Handbags are stylish but rarely showcase flashy branding. Jewelry is minimal, elegant, subtle, a delicate gold chain, small earrings, perhaps a family ring. The aesthetic prioritizes sophistication over showiness. Walk near Baku's carpet museums or waterfront cafes, and you'll find students clustered in animated conversation, laptops open, discussing everything from startup ideas to international relations. They're plugged into global culture through smartphones, following Turkish influences and American tech trends in equal measure. Meanwhile, older generations prefer the quiet comfort of traditional tea houses. Here, time moves differently. Men nurse small glasses of black tea for hours, playing backgammon with pieces worn smooth by decades of use. Conversations unfold slowly, stories are told completely, silence is valued as much as speech. It's social meditation. People sitting together, talking softly, finding community in unhurried presence. Never raise your voice in public. Azerbaijanis value calm communication, and loud Americans stand out uncomfortably. Never compare Azerbaijan with Armenia. The Nagorno-Karabakh conflict remains deeply sensitive, and casual geopolitical commentary will shut down conversations immediately. Never joke about politics unless the locals initiate, and even then, tread carefully. Do compliment hospitality. It's the cornerstone of Azerbaijani identity. Do accept tea when offered. Refusing is borderline insulting. Do smile at elders and offer your seat on public transport. Do ask permission before photographing people, especially women. Do try to learn a few Azerbaijani phrases. The effort matters more than pronunciation. You'll hear more clinking coffee cups than prayer calls in Baku. Azerbaijan maintains one of the world's most secular Muslim-majority societies, a legacy of Soviet atheism that merged with Turkic pragmatism. Mosques exist, but they're quietly tucked between modern districts rather than dominating skylines. During Ramadan, some restaurants close for daylight hours, but many remain open. Alcohol flows freely in bars and restaurants. Few public religious symbols appear. Women wear headscarves by choice rather than law, and most don't. The religious identity feels more cultural than devout. People identify as Muslim the way many Europeans identify as Christian, acknowledging heritage without strict practice. This creates a social atmosphere that surprises first-time visitors expecting conservative restrictions. Baku at night feels safer than most Western European capitals. Streets remain calm, well-lit, and populated. Women walk in small groups laughing, their voices echoing off stone buildings. Police patrol politely, often stopping to help rather than hassle. The biggest danger might be cats. Baku's streets host armies of well-fed strays who've learned that following tourists often results in snacks. Crime exists, obviously, but violent street crime remains remarkably rare. Pickpocketing can happen in tourist areas, but it's less common than in Rome, Barcelona, or Paris. The cultural emphasis on hospitality extends to visitor safety. Scamming tourists would bring family shame, so most interactions remain genuinely helpful. Azerbaijani sounds musical, with soft rhythms that feel almost Persian. Turkish speakers understand roughly 80% without formal study. The languages are cousins, close enough for mutual comprehension. Russian remains the lingua franca for older generations and serves as the bridge language between ethnic groups. English is growing rapidly among youth, especially in Baku, though fluency varies widely. You might recognize words you've never learned. Merhaba sounds like Turkish hello. Chai clearly means tea. Taxi needs no translation. The linguistic layer cake makes navigation easier than expected. Most educated Azerbaijanis under 35 speak at least 3 languages conversationally, making them some of the world's most polyglot people. Flags flutter everywhere: universities, storefronts, lampposts, taxi rearview mirrors. Sometimes they're paired with Turkish flags side by side, reflecting the one nation, two states sentiment that characterizes Azerbaijani-Turkish relations. This isn't aggressive nationalism, it's more like family connection. The flag represents belonging, heritage, the pride of surviving empires and emerging independent. National holidays transform cities into patriotic festivals. Victory Day, Independence Day, and Republic Day bring out crowds waving flags, wearing national colors, singing folk songs with genuine emotion. It's patriotism without militarism, pride without arrogance. Trendy cafes remain surprisingly affordable. A cappuccino costs less than in most European cities. Meals at mid-range restaurants won't break your budget. Public transport is cheap and efficient, yet rent in central Baku has skyrocketed, approaching prices you'd find in secondary Western European cities. Imported goods carry heavy premiums. Electronics, branded clothing, and specialty foods can cost 50% more than in Turkey or Russia. This creates a paradox. Many young graduates, despite earning decent salaries, live with family longer than expected. The cost of independence, renting an apartment, buying a car, establishing a household, outpaces wage growth. It's like sitting on gold, but renting your pickaxe. Tech graduates are heading abroad at troubling rates. The IT sector is booming, but salaries can't compete with offers from Dubai, Istanbul, or European tech hubs. Taxi drivers speak 3 or 4 languages fluently. Many hold university degrees, but couldn't find work matching their qualifications. Boutique shops are often run by college students supplementing income or waiting for better opportunities. Talent grows faster than job offers. The education system produces engineers, programmers, and business graduates at impressive rates, but the economy hasn't diversified enough to absorb them. Oil and gas still dominate. Government positions remain prestigious, and entrepreneurship faces bureaucratic obstacles. The result? Skilled youth dreaming of opportunities abroad. Azerbaijan's passport offers limited visa-free travel compared to European or even Turkish passports. Many young Azerbaijanis dream of studying or working abroad but face complex visa processes. E-visa access is expanding slowly. Turkey, Russia, and several Central Asian countries offer easy entry, but Western Europe, North America, and Australia require substantial documentation. Younger politicians and reformers want a more global passport, understanding that mobility equals opportunity. But geopolitical tensions, security concerns, and bureaucratic momentum slow progress. For now, Azerbaijani youth experience a frustrating contradiction. Globally connected online, regionally limited offline. Expectation, conservative dress codes everywhere, heavy religious influence, women in hijabs. Reality, modern outfits dominate Baku streets, socially liberal vibes in urban areas. Most women dress like their counterparts in Istanbul or Kyiv. Tourists wearing shorts don't shock locals the way visitors assume. In coastal areas during summer, beachwear is normal. In rural regions, modest dress shows respect but isn't legally enforced. The reality is far more nuanced than simplistic Muslim country stereotypes suggest. If locals recommend a dessert, order two. You'll want to share, and they'll be delighted you took their advice seriously. Azerbaijanis often offer tea to strangers, help with directions without being asked, and practice English with tourists out of genuine curiosity rather than transactional interest. The hospitality isn't performative, it's cultural bedrock. Dinner invitations to homes happen more frequently than Westerners expect. If someone invites you to meet their family, accept. You'll experience authentic hospitality, endless courses, genuine conversation, hosts who won't let your plate empty. Bring small gifts, chocolates, flowers, something from your home country. The gesture matters more than the gift's value. Even arguments sound gentle in Baku. There's a reserved warmth to social interactions, a quiet confidence that doesn't need loud assertion. Deep respect for tradition coexists with openness to innovation. People value education, family, and reputation in ways that shape daily behavior. Public displays of anger are rare. Emotional restraint is valued. This creates an atmosphere of calm that some find refreshing, others find reserved. Parents greet teachers like royalty. Education is sacred. Family ties remain strong. Multi-generational households are common. Marriage happens younger than in Western Europe, but later than conservative Muslim societies. Names carry meaning and music. Girls, Loman shining, Zainab, fragrant flower, Aden, from the moon, Lala, tulip. Boys, Nihad, foundation, Tural, eternal, Elnur, light of the people, Ramil, magical. Avoid border topics. Respect historical complexities. Ask instead of assuming. The Nagorno-Karabakh conflict isn't ancient history. It's living trauma, recent loss, ongoing tension. Discussing it requires sensitivity that most tourists lack. Similarly, internal politics remain delicate. State authority is real. Press freedom is limited. Certain topics are genuinely risky for locals to discuss with foreigners. Keep a neutral tone. If you must discuss politics, listen more than you speak. Understand that locals navigate complex realities you won't fully grasp in a 2-week visit. Azerbaijan offers something increasingly rare, a genuinely underrated destination. Clean streets, genuine safety, modern infrastructure, gentle culture, and affordable cafes create a traveler experience that punches above the country's current tourism profile. You'll leave wondering how this place isn't already famous, why travel influencers aren't flooding the streets, how the secret has stayed so well kept. When you visit, pay attention to details. Azerbaijan whispers its beauty, rather than shouting it. The elegance appears in small moments, the way tea is poured, how strangers help each other with directions, the pride locals take in sharing their carpet-weaving heritage, the sunset over the Caspian turning the flame towers into beacons of liquid gold. This is a country writing its own future while honoring its past. Balancing act performed with grace. Come with curiosity, leave with stories, and when friends ask if Azerbaijan is worth visiting, you'll smile knowingly, because now you understand what few outsiders do. The moonlight reflects off the flame towers, dancing across Caspian waves. The wind picks up, carrying the scent of tea and distant mountains. Somewhere in the old town, stones remember caravans. Somewhere in the tech district, students code tomorrow. Both are Azerbaijan. Both are true.